print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More Old Royal Adelaide Hospital site to become innovation hub, but gallery plans on hold. The abandoned former Royal Adelaide Hospital site will be transformed into an innovation hub for entrepreneurs by Christmas, under a plan by the new SAR government to accelerate the return of people to the North Terrace precinct. But the Premier Stephen Marshall has hit pause on plans to build an Indigenous cultural gallery on the hospital site, as he negotiates with the state's key cultural institutions about what form the gallery will take. Mr. Marshall toured the now vacant hospital site today. He revealed he had instructed government agency Renewal SAR to accelerate plans to refurbish 7 heritage-listed buildings on the southeastern corner of the site. "What we've done is hit the accelerator not just for demolition but for activation. Detailed activation on this site to get people working on this site as quickly as possible," Mr. Marshall said. "We want to move on this project as quickly as possible. We don't want this site to turn into another Le Cornu site, sitting vacant for a long period of time." The Premier said the heritage buildings would eventually be leased to companies, with a focus on promoting the growth of startup businesses in high-tech industries. "It will be the largest incubator accelerator growth hub in the country," he said. "It is a unique environment and we've already had some of the largest companies in the world say to us we are interested." The University of Adelaide has already leased one of the buildings to host an artificial intelligence institute. Renewal SAR Chief Executive John Hanlon said demolition of other buildings on the site would continue. But he said plans for a 5-star luxury hotel in one of the heritage buildings were unlikely to proceed. "We've got that much interest in here. We're thinking about moving away from that and offering that space also as part of the Innovation and Creative Hub," Mr. Hanlon said. The Liberal government is also pledged to spend $60 million establishing an international culinary school on the former hospital site. Premier presses pause button on new gallery. The Premier said the government would pause planning for a gallery on the old hospital site so it could negotiate with the state's key cultural institutions on what form it should take. The Liberal Party went to the March election promising to develop a national Aboriginal art and culture gallery, a point of difference to Labour's promise to build a contemporary art gallery. The Aboriginal gallery had been promoted by the SAR Museum, while the contemporary gallery proposal had been promoted by the Art Gallery of South Australia, under its former director Nick Mitsovich. Quizzed about his gallery plans today, Mr. Marshall left both options open. "We are pressing the pause button," he said. "What we want to do is to work with the 2 major collections and Tanzania to work out what we can envisage for this site. I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to all work together to come up with something which is unique, is iconic and is going to drive in-state and overseas visitors to South Australia to see our incredible, magnificent collections." Mr. Marshall likened the discussions between the gallery and museum to the delicate negotiations between cricket and football codes prior to the redevelopment of the Adelaide Oval. "People thought that there's just no way in the world that cricket and football were ever going to get along. Well, guess what? They have," he said. A design competition commissioned by the former government has produced 6 different concept designs for a contemporary gallery. The Premier said an independent jury had met and decided on a preferred design, but it had not yet been communicated the decision to the